Hello and welcome to Not Every Single. I'm Joe.
And I'm Stephanie.
Today we're talking about Tove Lo and her newish record, Dirt Femme. Newish.
Yeah, it came out a little bit ago.
Yeah, we're a little late on it, but shout out to commenter and hopefully subscriber, CG, who recommended it to us.
Yeah, we had talked about To Die For when it first came out.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of aware the album had come out, but I just hadn't got around to listening to it. So I guess
a while
give us a
ago.
little push. Yeah.
To Die For came out like 3 months ago, maybe. We talked about it in, I think, our second video ever.
Wow.
And then last week, CG commented on that. Was like, hey, the record's out. You should check it out. So we've done so, and I've got notes.
Mm-hmm. I've got notes, not that many notes, but
Yeah.
I have notes.
Yeah, I took like track by track notes. So
I pretty much did. But
Okay.
I didn't have as many extensive bullet points as you do.
Well, let's get right into it. No One Dies From Love, the opening song.
Mm-hmm.
I instantly liked it. I kind of forgot what Tove Lo sounded like. And then
Yeah.
I fired this up and was like, oh, yeah, I remember what I liked about her.
Uh-huh.
And you got this synth arpeggio right away. That's super cool. That you can kind of latch onto. And something that's done throughout this record, but is introduced in this one, is like these digital harmonies. They're not real harmonies. They're like vocal manipulation.
Yeah, which is great in a dance song because, you know, it's all about like the digitalness of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really meant to sound like real instruments. And so to do your harmonies like that is an interesting choice too.
I love it. And you hear it in even bigger stuff like Billie Eilish, you know, these like super drop down, impossibly low octaves come up under her voice and kind of add some menace. And that's what I heard here. It's done in a very different way, but kind of the same, like add some menace to what's otherwise just like a fun pop hook. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was super cool here. I loved it every time it happened on the album.
Yeah. And, you know, so the first three songs are all they're just good, solid dance songs. I think, yeah, they're probably the best of the dance songs on the album.
It's front loaded for sure.
Yeah. So I didn't have a ton of notes just because I was like, yeah, these three, you know, they have good hooks, they have good choruses, they have good vocal performance, they have good production. It's not like my favorite. I don't really listen to dance music anyway, so like I couldn't really name my favorite dance music songs, but I do think it's a really solid and interesting little run of songs there.
I think it's the strongest run on the album. Probably the first four I really, really loved. Suburbia, track 2, I put that the attitude and swing of it had this vibe of like some 80s stuff, almost like Call Me by Blondie.
Yeah.
And like almost like Heart without the guitar, the band Heart. It sort of had that swing to it. I thought that was super cool to hear in a modern song.
Yeah, maybe that was the one. I remember listening being like, this kind of sounds like Wake Me Up Before You Go Go.
It must have been that,
I think it was that one, yeah.
It's not like a percussion pattern and a flow you hear a lot in modern pop music, so that was really cool. And then we get to Die For, which, again, that was like 3 months ago. I didn't remember what it sounded like. Love that song, still.
Yeah, I remember you liked it more than I did.
Yeah, it's, you know what I like about it is... It has that thing, I probably talked about this in the video, but it has that thing that you hear in a lot of songs in the last few years, I'd say, where the hook is like everything drops out except like hard-hitting percussion and like bass synth and kind of the pads and all the more ethereal elements drop.
Yeah.
And so you got more of a stripped down hook that you can kind of sink your teeth into. Love it.
Yeah. And vocally, she's really good at those kind of hooks. She's got not just the standard sounding pop dance voice. And one thing, and especially going into song number 4, True Romance, she does this thing where like the vocals are very processed at certain points in the production, and then also she uses vocal fry and like a little grit, and they'll like balance those out really well.
I actually wrote that for True Romance, track 4. I wrote rasp in her voice is kind of you know, it's retained. It's there. They didn't do another take to get it perfect. She doesn't have like this perfect like delivery, and I love that it sort of humanizes it.
Well, to me, it's the choice to do that because I think they want that interplay between the digital voice and then the real person behind it, because you can tell that these are not accidental, the way that they're done and where they're placed. And so I think she probably does have like a very technical voice. And because she has that ability, she's able to like throw in some little things like that.
It really helps. It really helps humanize it.
Yeah.
And I thought True Romance was such a standout because, you know, then you get this human element, but then she's also like using her voice as a sample that's then like, you know, sampled through a synth and doing this like impossibly high run. Mm-hmm. And it almost just sounds like, you know, some sort of synth going really high, but it's like a little chop of her vocal.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I actually wrote down that I thought there were parts of this song where she sounds like Bjork.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's got that, you know, because she does that same kind of thing in her stuff with the roughness that she does on purpose.
Yeah, that rasp is there, definitely. The other thing about True Romance, what a just vocal showcase overall.
Yeah.
I don't even think there's like percussion in this song. It's just like a vocal showcase with like slow building soft synths. I think Grapefruit is a cool song, you know, struggling with body acceptance. That's like an important thing. And it's actually one of her top played songs.
Yeah, I think the message is probably a big part of that. It is a fun song. I actually think this sounds like something that would be on a Carly Rae Jepsen album a lot.
Yeah.
And I even think her vocals sound a bit like Carly Rae Jepsen, not in a way that she's imitating, but just like in the sense that their genres are sort of crossing over from time to time.
Yeah, is a different song for Tove Lo, as far as what I've heard so far. And it's cool. I actually kind of forgot about that one, but I think it's an important song, and it's kind of part of that initial like first act of the record. So now after Grapefruit is where we kind of move into this run of songs with features that I'm not as crazy about.
Yeah, there's a lot of features.
They're all like grouped together.
And there's like one person that's on two different songs.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Cute and Cruel with First Aid Kit, which I wasn't crazy about. It was like this more folky one that I just like didn't see coming.
Right.
I don't really think that needed to be an element of this record, a side of her that's shown on this record. But you know, it's there. It's not. I'm not saying it's terrible. It just was probably my least favorite song.
Yeah, it does feel a little out of place. I don't dislike this song. It's acoustic guitar heavy ballad with a country heart, which is again just showing like different sides of what she's trying to do.
I didn't see it coming. Definitely didn't expect that from kind of the middle point of the record.
Yeah, it's a little bit like when Halsey does Darling, except Darlin', but that one like makes more sense.
Right, yeah. So Call on Me actually has my favorite synth on the record. It's the intro.
Yeah.
The intro has this nostalgic sounding, sort of like sound like it was sent through like some tape or something. Just a really nice, warm synth.
Warm synth.
I rarely say warm on this channel. It's an overused word, but this is a nice, warm synth. Maybe it's a Juno. Good old Juno synth.
This has cowbell, does it not?
I think this did have cowbell.
I wrote that down in my notes. Cowbell.
And then the synth like follows the vocal line in the hook, which I thought was cool because it hadn't happened yet on the record.
I actually really like this one. This is maybe my favorite.
Oh yeah,
up there, if not my favorite off the album. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I do. I kind of want to listen to the second half again because I started to get a little bored around Attention Whore and Pineapple Slice.
Yeah, and I think Hollywood kind of starts that for me too, because I just feel like the subject matter is a little tread over.
Yeah.
I did like the feature a little more on this one. I thought like the low male vocal gave it this like kind of like an 80s feel, but then it's kind of turned into like almost like a rap style feature. So
It was, maybe it's because we just talked about Rebecca Black, but it was hard not to think of like the guy who comes in on Friday and it's like, we're going to a party. I am in my car. We are now going to party, blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah, like I feel like it started off cool and then it became a little bit like this. We don't need this part.
yeah, it was like, I hesitate to even call it rap. It was just this weird, like Vogue-y style.
It was
of
it was like Barbie girl.
Yeah, I am here to say some stuff. Now I am in the song. Yeah, it was kind of odd.
Yeah.
So I'm to Blame was like the other acoustic-y one, but
Yeah.
it's like, it almost starts off like I think it's going to be like, oh, it has like another acoustic ballad, but then it kind of ends up being this like sort of fight song.
Yeah, I really like this song until the claps come in.
Oh, what? I said I liked the percussion.
I don't know. It seemed a little cheesy to me.
Maybe a little bit, but
You can like it. It's fine.
I can like it.
You're allowed.
All right, good. I like it. Yeah, I thought the percussion was cool because until then we haven't had like real drums. We've pretty much just had like hard-hitting drum machine. Just like punchy, unprocessed drum. Well, I'm sure it's heavily processed, but you know what I mean? Like drum machine sound. And so to hear these like sort of layered stomp and clap type things come in, I thought was kind of cool there. And then we get to Kick in the Head was kind of the last one in this run that I wasn't too into. It's like a funky one.
It gets a little like the beats all kind of seem like the same for a while in the dance one. I felt that same way, kind of like, is this the same exact tempo as the other ones? You know?
Yeah, I mean, it did have this like cool vocal chop sample thing that they kept using. Mm-hmm. I really liked that. So it was like starting to win me back.
It had like a kind of a grooviness to it.
Yeah.
That, it was nice that was a little different. And I did appreciate that.
And if you're new to this channel, you should know, fair warning, I never like anything like super funky groovy. I don't know.
I'm particular about it, but I don't. Sometimes if it's done in a certain way, it was kind of like groovy in like this kind of way, and not like overly like 70s-fied.
I love the hint of darkness that was in like the first run of songs on this record, the first act, and I was sort of missing that from the second half. But then you come back with the closer, How Long, and I kind of felt like that was a return to what the front half of the record sound like, and I really liked that song.
This is maybe my favorite chorus. She goes real hard, like the end of the chorus, like she really goes for that note, and it sounds great. It would be fun to sing to in your car, which is always a good barometer for me.
Yeah, it's a strong finish, really strong finish. Overall, I dig the album. I think maybe what would help is maybe you cut just one in that kind of run where you're starting to lose.
Yeah,
lose
cut
the plot
maybe
a little.
Hollywood.
Maybe that one, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was my least favorite and had that sort of cheesiness to it.
Yeah, I think losing one on this album would have helped. So we're big geeks as far as like album structures and sequence, especially me.
Yeah, and I guess we should point out, strong finish, but really strong start too. So like a lot of albums struggle with the opening song, and you kind of listen to it and go, well, this shouldn't have been the opener. Why is this the opener? And they got it right on this album for sure. Yeah,
and overall, love the production. From what I understand, she's very much involved in that. And so, yeah, love to hear more from Tove Lo. Maybe we'll dip back and check out one of her other records. If we're gonna
I've listened to her first one and I liked it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When was it from?
It's like a while ago, yeah.
Like a decade ago?
Maybe even longer, maybe early 2000s. I can't remember.
Oh, what? Really?
I don't quote me. I don't really remember. It's
Wow.
been a while though.
Okay, well, which one should we go check out? If you'd like to see us check out Tove Lo more and talk about her music, I'm totally up for hearing more. Which one do we start with? Thanks for watching. This is Not Every Single. I'm Joe.
And I'm Stephanie.
I almost forgot to say my name. I left you hanging.
Yeah.
This is Not Every Single, and bye.